Hello, you're tuned into Realist TV.
Alright everyone, we are the Realists. I am Mr. Michael Prada. We got Miss Nicole, Mr. Reed, and Irene. Alright, so, because of the event, I want to kind of like do something fun. I want us all to kind of have a good time. I'm going to do something, it's a little corny, but roll with it. When I go, whoa, you're going to go, whoa, alright? So, whoa, whoa.
With the cause, breaking the musical laws that were placed upon us to try to stop us from being stars on top of the world that's ours. Rebelling with the reason, believing myself, follow my dreams and become my own leader. Going there, greeters try to approach us out like cheaters. We connect the private healers. Hip hop block and words to feed us. We just use some part defeated. I like that without a reason. We will never be defeated, so eat it. Taking this game by force, if we never gonna swim since 5 that's it. Wanna take it to the top. Stand with my fists up high. Not falling into the trap of your lies. Cutting all time. No need to conform. Cause we found our niche. This revolution led by the flag we made. Our blood in every stitch. Put our hearts in this music mission to squash all the bullshit. Lifting the game with our legs. We got back in this movement. Tantalized with the sound. Mesmerizes the crowd. Hearing all of the rebels chant their cause out loud. Let's get my force. We never gonna swim since 5 that's it. Wanna take it to the top. A symphony of voices combined to create a sound that can never be doubted, redesign or redefined. Are you starting to get worried? Do you feel the heat we bring? Yeah, we all up in your pussies like a Nuvia ring. Now what you thought is nothing but a fear of God, and what we rock is something that cannot be bought. Feel the victory, feel the victory, feel the victory, feel the victory. Taking this game by force, it will be never gonna swim since 5 that's it. Wanna take it to the top.
I'm 22 years old. I go to school full time. I was just laid off of my job due to the so-called recession. This is where you'll find me most of the time in my studio, just chilling in there most of the time, or eating Chinese food, or recording someone, or making some kind of music. My whole life is basically around music, so it's usually where you'll find me. I've always been singing, not in like anything like group or anything, but I just remember always being young, and even if I was by myself, I'd always be singing something, and I'd always be singing usually something I made up. I don't know why. I never really was one to imitate a song that I heard on the radio. It was always me just making words up and putting it into a song, and I would sing to myself in the room. I remember always driving with my parents, and they'd always have some kind of music playing, whether it was rock or some old 80s pop, something that I was influenced by. I think that's a reason why I'm so open-minded, and I try to make some music differently, because musically diverse, yeah. I've always been recording music for 4 or 5 years now, but it used to be just me and Mr. Reed from the Realists. We used to always he used to come over, and we'd throw some beers back and just make some raps, and that's all they were just raps at the time. There was no such thing as a song coming out, and there was no idea of actually doing a show or making an album or even having fans. That was never on the list of things to do at that time, but 2 or 3 years passed after we had been doing that, and I actually had lost contact with Mike for a while. I had upgraded to a newer studio, and he came over. We met each other again randomly, and he was like, yeah, I started this new group with this guy who was I Mean, and they started this group called the Realists. They asked me if I would record their first mixtape, so I did. I like for some reason managed to get in there and like actually be on like more than half of the actual mixtape, you know. So we were at a concert one night and I was like, why aren't I just a part of the group? And they're like, good question. So, you know, I kind of became a part of the Realist like that. That's kind of how I ended up in it. And the rest is history. No.
Take a look into the mirror, welcome yourself to the future. Grab a brush and take control of the mature. The sunshine got me feeling extra good about my safety and I'm good by two imperial. That has some label and be lazy. Cause I'm not the color of money. Nothing funny, greedy, eat the apple pie. Good on poison, getting high, vandalizing every piece of art. So when the radio produces weapons of destruction, everybody stands in line without a sense of dysfunction. Yeah.
The funniest thing to me is like the whole like, especially in hip hop, the stereotype of like you're a gangster, you're a snowman, you're pushing snow, and you're the biggest drug dealer and the boss. And it's funny to me how everyone's a boss or a gangster. It's like who's buying it? You know, like who's buying it from these bosses if everyone's a boss? And it just doesn't make sense to me, to be honest. But I don't even know how that caught on as a fad and why it's so cool to be a drug dealer and like a gangster, and it's the stupidest thing to me. But the funniest part and the best thing I love about being a hip-hop artist, or just an artist in general, especially for me, because I do not fit the stereotype of what an actual rapper is, you know. And I love that when I go to a place where most people don't know us, you know, we're not like a face that everyone recognizes, and we'll go into a venue and people walk by us and see us just hanging out, and we honestly look like we're fans of whoever's about to perform that night. Like no one knows that in 10-15 minutes we're gonna get on the stage and fucking kill our set, and people are gonna be like, what the fuck was that? You know, like I think that's the coolest thing when you get off a stage, and it's the biggest compliment when someone goes, I didn't know you would rap. I can't believe you rap. You're fucking sick. You're tight. And it's like, it's kind of cool because we're actually doing, I think, our part for a hip hop, in general, because we're kind of like swaying that stereotype away and making it, letting people know that hip hop is just another genre of music, and like any music, it's for anyone and everyone, and I think anyone and everyone should do it. So I think we're kind of doing our part to let other people who are like us, who maybe are scared to do it, based on the stereotypes that come with it, that it's cool to do, like you can do it, and you don't need to be a boss or from the hood. And it's like, that's not what it's about. It's about expressing yourself in a form of art, so that's my fucking philosophy.
Come on, come on, come on, come on! Everybody make some noise, come on! Why? You're pushing me down. Take 3 down. Walk away. Down.
You guys gotta do it again together.
Man, hey, nice ball spawn back here. Man.
Like it?
Yeah.
I like that.
Okay.
Okay.
Dude, I was like, out the window, I was like, Realists are the guys. It just
hardcore dude for like a good 1 minute.
With a smile on his face.
I'm the bomb like Durkee Durkee.
I was born in Paradise, California, moved to Roseville when I was only 1 with my dad, and I went to Roseville High School where I studied art and I was an artist. I got a bunch of awards and stuff, and yeah, after that I went to Sierra College, and I stopped doing that because, I don't know, I started focusing on music. I love my family. I was lucky because I was born into a great family that raised me right and taught me all the right things to do in life, and that's where I am, that's who I am today. Love you guys, that's what I'm about. My friends, family, that's what I do. I got into music, actually I started rapping when I met Random Abilities, aka Randy Murray, and I started writing music because of him. He inspired me, and then I started writing with Jay Freeze, Jeff McNeil, and then I met this cat right here, Mike Prada. I started recording at his place and we formed a little bond, and that's where that came from. And actually, it's in my family. My grandfather, who I don't even know, so don't quote me on him, but he was an Elvis impersonator, so it runs in the family, and my mom's an amazing singer too. He was Little E on Mystery. I'm the real E.
And you'll become the first versatility. First I kill the beat, then bring it back and sing over it beautifully. Reduce the beat, material to the interior. What you hearing on the radio? The radio's gonna change it up. Truly the real, we will express, time to reveal. Some of the best is who it is, never to be interest to the human ear. A lyrical souvenir, never forgetting the things you hear. Like the words that's over from your first, but let them fall into ears. Straight to be heard, spoken word.
When I first started rapping, I was always criticized. I had a lot of people say, you know, what are you doing rapping? You know, you're not a thug. You're not all hard and everything. And you know, like a rapper to me, I'm not a rapper. I'm a musician. That's what we all are, and that's where we're different than a lot of people out there. We don't give in, like I said, and we just, when we're up on that stage, we're rock stars. I was actually originally part of 2 for 1. It didn't work out. We just went our separate ways. We're still good. Well, I'm still good friends with both of them. I started doing another group called the Dear John Letter. It was a little experiment. It was a little rock stuff. It got me going and doing music again. Jason, aka I Mean, he moved in with me and he had this drive. He's never really done music before, but he really wanted to. And I trusted him and I liked his enthusiasm. And we came up with the group The Realists. And it was just me and him at first. Oh, we're just sitting outside one day on the balcony, probably drinking a beer like we always do. And we're thinking about it for days, and then all of a sudden just popped into our head. We're like, wow, man, we're both painters. We both like to do art, and so that's where the Realist came from. ISTS. It's a type of artist. So artist who draws and paints real life, and that's what we do with our words. That's where that came from.
Grew up in Grass Valley and I danced a lot. I was very active and in sports and all that stuff, and then I don't know, as I got a little bit older, I started singing when I was 13. I went to beauty school, actually went to college as a psych major, and then decided that I totally hated it after 2.5 years. So then I didn't know what the heck I was going to do, and I asked all my friends, and they, reminded me that I used to do their hair all the time, and so I figured out, what the hell, I'll try it, and this is what I do now, and I love it. Yeah. My dad actually used to sing in a band in high school. He played guitar, and my whole family's always been a very musical family. So I think it just kind of came naturally to me. In fact, it was strange to not be musical, I didn't know that I could sing until I was about 13. And when I finally, found my voice and discovered that I could sing, it was all over from there. You can't get me to shut up. And I actually have a lot of influences because I grew up in a really creative community. So it was good for me to be able to have all these different people around that were so creative and supportive of creativity. So I started young. I don't even really know what triggered it, but I've been in music since 13, so it's been, 13 years. Crazy. Well, old Fancy Pants Patterson over there, actually, Nicolette, asked me to go to the river with her one time last summer, and I went, and just so happens that she was friends with Amin, and he brought Miss Ree with him. She casually mentioned we were all at the river. Oh yeah, if you ever need a female singer, Nicole sings, and they totally blew me off. They'll dispute that till the cows come home, but honestly they did, and they blew me off for a long time. And then they decided to give me a call to do one song, and we did it. And at the end of the night, they were like, "June, part of the group." So I was. That's how the magic began.
Dust is made up of 90% dead skin.
Look at all that dust floating around Jason.
Imagine all the butt skin we're inhaling. Or penis skin.
Don't put a hat on, your hair looks good.
Dude, does it?
Yeah.
Does it look good, Jason?
It does look very nice.
See?
This girl's pussy doesn't though.
I never understood why they call black girls' vaginas roast beef, and then...
You're fucking... Oh, dude.
Roast beef, the beef curtains.
Sounds like a McDonald's character.
Well, 26. Right now, just working at the local record store, just trying to make that extra cash while I do music. That's about it. Plans on going to school, working with kids and stuff too on the side. Music, well, I mean, I guess pretty much like everyone else. I mean, I've been listening to hip hop for a long time. I was probably about 17 when I actually thought that it might be a possibility. Some cats down the street had a recording studio at the house. Pretty much when I started writing, I didn't really start recording until 2 years ago, something like that. Just got into it that way. Once I, saw how everything worked, I just fell in love. Just kept doing it, keep it moving. Basically, I mean, how it all started was at the homie Plush Lush. He's with the Neighborhood Watch, and I've been bothering him for a long time, trying to, get in the scene and do all that. He was with Neighborhood Watch at the time, but he started something called One Nation. Him and Task One. At that moment, I didn't have anything recorded, nothing. But he's like, I see your heart. I know you want this. Come to this meeting. See what we can do. I'm like, well, that's cool. Sounds good to me. Basically, got in with them. Later on down the road, moved in with Mr. E. We became roommates. I was trying to do a solo thing. He was trying to do his thing too. And then he's, both like, well, hey, let's start up a group. And I was like, all right. And that's how actually the Realists got started. It just started with me and him at first.
Settle down, through this shit is getting crazy. Spinning out control, my third eye's getting hazy. This special ain't no time for the baby. So you can't make a change, nah, nigga, you just lazy. I say what I want, shit, I'll let the pigs change me. I'm a mental gorilla, they will never sedate me or play me. So fake, so people get your issues straight. Words I'm making edges, man, I'm worried about it. Victory is symphony, your forces combine to create a sound that can never be down and redesign or redefine. You start to get worried, you feel me, you
That is definitely me right in the beginning of getting into this, to the hip hop game. That's what I wanted. I didn't want to be somebody else. I wanted to be able to do what I want to do and say what I want to say. And I'm able to do that with 3 other people in the group, and it just works out. I mean, I think hip hop is actually in a good state right now, and for the reason that I think people want something different. It hasn't always been like that, It's always been, well, you're hip hop, well then you're supposed to be a gangster, you're supposed to be a thug, you sold drugs, slap your bitches, and all that kind of crap. And that's really not what it's about, at all. But I think the Realists got in the game at the perfect moment because people are getting tired of that crap. They want something new. They want something fresh. They're not afraid to change. And we're able to deliver that to the fullest, for sure.
Hello. Ew, dude, look at the stain. You just put a stain on my pants. Ew. Oh my god. Oh, I'm gonna go look outside. I'll look at the reflection in my face because I got new piercings. Oh, I don't like what I saw. I'm gonna go back. Oh, I'm stupid. Don't worry about it, guys. I'm gonna laugh about it. I'm just laughing off.
I mean, I would love to, for us to travel, see the world. I mean, that's been my, before music, that's been, my #1 goal just in life is to be able to just get out of here and see what, see what else is out there. On top of be able to do that within, have shows and do music and spread it to people who don't even speak English and have people, saying your lyrics, that would just be absolutely amazing, And to do it on our own terms, that would definitely be, where I see us going for sure. Honestly, I just copped this job. I was unemployed for 8 months, something like that. It's weird how life works out that way though, because all these job opportunities pass by, and now I'm working with music. I'm in a record store, doing something I love to do. Everyone here's chill. I'm exposed to all sorts of music now. You know what I mean? So it's pretty much endless. I'm just gonna keep building from here. I think it's important for artists too. They need to be exposed to different types of music because that's how you incorporate sound. I mean, you make, to me, music's not about hip hop. It's not about rock. It's not about country. It's not about blues. I mean, it's about music, period. And if I can incorporate different sound into my sound, that's just gonna make me a better artist.
Fuck, you got 2 white guys and a black guy and a girl singer, that doesn't even make sense, out here. And so we came out, we were definitely, to people I think at first were kind of this is weird, it doesn't make sense, it shouldn't be working. And even some people have said they didn't think we were gonna last that long when they first saw us. They thought we were just another random crew coming, but I mean shit, it's been a 1.5 years now and we've actually withstood a lot of shit, and we're still standing strong. We've come out with our first EP, When Doubt Meets Victory. We've released a mixtape. We're in the works of a 90s mixtape. We're in about 4 months we're gonna be starting our new album, our full length. So dude, we're constantly moving. We've become a business, and we just kind of tuned out all the bullshit and kept moving. A lot of people gave us shit. The full length album is gonna be something that people can really be okay, these guys are for real now, they made their statement, they're here, let's see what they can do.
We have dealt with so much bullshit trying to come up and get people to recognize that we're not just we're not here to fuck around. You know what I mean? We take what we do very seriously. We love what we do. It's our passion in life. So we decided I Hate the Realists was sort of a fun way to kind of give a little fuck you to the people that didn't believe in us.
Oh, fuck it.
And so, fuck you.
We would never say we're just hip hop because we don't believe that. We do have a little poppy sound sometimes. We are hip hop at times. We do have a rockish, harder sound, but we feel we're able to do that based on the diversity, and that's what makes us so unique as a group, because we're all able to kind of show our side but come as one, and we've created this one sound that doesn't really put us in any class, which is kind of cool.
We've only been together for no longer than a year and a half, and we've already, I can say almost 100 shows.
You can really hear everybody's individual story and everybody's individual emotional responses to what we're writing about. And even though that's what a lot of people do, I feel like we just have a certain chemistry, the four of us together, that, you know, with our powers combined, we make an awesome team.
I think we're gonna take it to another level, truthfully. I think we have the ability to do that. You know, like I said, you know, we got, you know, Mike Prada, who has this kind of Beastie Boy, kind of party animal type of style, but at the same time, it's not that punchline rap. He's actually, you know, he writes, you know, solid lyrics, you know, with substance. You got Mystery, who kind of has that fast flow with, you know, his singing ability. On top of that, he's great with the hooks, you know. And then we got Nicole, you know, cute with the absolutely amazing, powerful voice. And then me, I kind of think I like to bring a little more street into it. And I think the reason why that works is because we got something for everybody. You know what I mean? Like, you may like Prada more than me, and then some people are gonna like me more than Prada, you know, vice versa, you know. I think wherever we decide to take it is where, you know, where it's gonna be.
Something new is starting to evolve here, and I'm not saying the Realists are necessarily like, you know, the godfathers of it or anything, but I think we are starting something, and we're kind of like the new beginning to a new sound. And I think that's another thing that does set us apart from everyone too, and that's why I'm so excited for the future, because I feel like we're going to be able to increase our fans, which I'm hoping we do, our fan base.
I don't even want to say like, oh, we're gonna be totally huge, we're gonna tour the countryside, our children will form a family band, we'll tour the countryside and you won't be invited. No.
Man, you know, I think the best thing about being a realist is that we all are from different worlds completely, you know, but those experiences that we had definitely show up in our writing and show up in our music, and it's okay, and it works out perfect. I think we're all able to be real and not have to put on some fake persona to be something that we're not. None of us are thugs, you know what I mean? We just do our thing. We feel free to write what we want to write and make the music we want to make, and it works out. People enjoy it.
We're the shit, dude.